What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So in the last episode, we finished up the Hemi swap, or so I thought. There's quite a few things we have to kind of add in this video, go over, and maybe modify a little bit. But good news, guess who's back?
I'm back.
Back in town.
It's gone for about a month, and Ben was able to pretty much do an entire Hemi swap while I was gone.
So the Hemi swap, I was able to do it all by myself. No thanks to Cassie here before her LS swap finished up. But we're gonna start knocking that out soon. But in this video, we are gonna take it for a test drive, do some burnouts in it, and then talk about what all we need to change. So there's a few things here on the table we're gonna add to the swap before we call it completely done. You wanna go for a test drive?
Let's do it.
Should we take them for a test drive?
Yes, we should.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
That's a nice rumble.
It is a nice
Still
rumble.
Not as good as the Charger, but pretty darn close.
It is awesome. A Jeep is not supposed to sound like this. But since the last video, I added a little zazz down here. What did you say? Little shift boot, Crown Royal. We're gonna change that out later, but for now that works. So let's get on the road. So for the past week, I've been driving the Jeep to and from work, just kind of slowly breaking in this new engine. We have 340 miles on it so far. I think it's time to have a little bit of fun. What do you think?
Let's go do a burnout, 0-60.
Everybody's like, Ben, you gotta do a burnout. Guys, first off,
well, let's do a burnout.
I'm not gonna do a huge burnout because tires are expensive. And we're still breaking in the engine, so we gotta be a little bit careful. I mean, 340 miles, that's, I mean, that's a good amount, but I mean, she's, it's fun, isn't it?
I love how like you kind of like
the whole Jeep just like lifts up. Now, like I mentioned, there are a few things we're gonna go over later, but guys, this swap is worth it. It is so nice. Just driving the Jeep to and from work every day. Accelerating and driving the Jeep is effortless. You know, sure, having that awesome kick of power when you floor it is awesome. But even just in the low RPM range, having the torque to drive the Jeep on 40s is phenomenal. So we'll talk all about that later. First things first, let's go have some fun.
The moment we've all been waiting for. A Jeep is not supposed to do that. That was too freaking cool. I'm gonna have to make him do it again.
So as you can tell, the Jeep can finally do a burnout. Now the next kind of big thing we need to tackle are these intake temps, guys. So cooling this Hemi has been no issue at all. It has not gotten over temp once. But from where I mounted the intake, it's sucking in a ton of hot air. I'm checking with my JScan app and it's like 130 and 140 degree intake temps. So like that burnout right there, after driving a while, we're losing a ton of performance. So we're gonna do a real quick before and after, see how much these intake temps actually matter. So right here, let's reset this. I don't know how accurate this is, but it's a 0 to 60 timer with really hot intake temps now. You ready? Let's try it.
Hit it.
Well, that was a really big lag in this thing.
Yeah, it like froze for a second.
Froze for a while. All right, it said 0 to 60 and 7.9. Well, I don't know if I believe that. The other day when I tried it, it was under 6. So maybe it's because the intake temps are high.
Yeah.
Let's go home, fix that situation, fix some other stuff, and then we'll be back to see if we can beat a 7.9. Performance is only gonna get better from here. We have a few things to do today. So, of course, the intake temperatures are killing the performance. So we're gonna kind of mess around with that in the garage here later tonight. A lot of people are like, man, like the last video, a ton of comments saying that this was a horrible design. Guys, I knew it was gonna be a little bit hot, but I didn't have any other quick options, and I really wanted to get the Jeep on the road. So we're gonna mess with that later to get the best, coolest air like that we really can get with this swap. I can't just run a straight intake. That's like an $800 AEV intake that most swap kits use. Can't move this because this is molded into the plastic on this whole side. You know, 12 and up Jeeps, 2012 and up, this is removable, so you could run your intake right there, which is nice and easy. So we have a few options for sure, and we're gonna mess around with it to get the most performance. For those of you that don't know, when your intake temps are high, your ECU, you know, it cuts back on the timing, which gives you less performance and pretty bad miles per gallon. So we're gonna tackle that later with some, you know, we'll try to mess with it. Now, what I really wanna tackle tonight is a new 8-speed transmission valve body computer. So what Todd does is he offers a service. Before you put this engine and transmission in your Jeep, You take out the valve body computer from your Ram 8-speed transmission, send it to him, and then he sends it back, and it's reflashed with a Challenger tune on it. It's not like a tune, it's more of whatever they do to transmission valve body computers. I don't really know. But what this does is it gives us that manual shift option, right? It also gives us better shift points, if you will, kind of in a way. So my issue right now is that with the 538 really, really low gears in these tires, if you give it a lot of gas, it'll kick to 6th gear and it'll just stay there. You know, so if we're going 70 and it downshifts to 6th, it's gonna stay in that. It's not gonna drop to 7th or 8th because for some reason with the really low gears, it thinks it's in like a tow mode. So this should fix that, plus give us the ability to manually shift it, which is gonna be nice. Now, sadly, I should have done this when the transmission was out of the Jeep. I'm gonna have to yank a bunch of stuff off in order to get to that. So while we're in there, I'm installing a new 8-speed pan. This is a steel pan from a Jeep Gladiator. We got the new transmission filter, a new gasket, and it came with bolts. So the original one's plastic. This is gonna be a nice upgrade. I know that was a lot of talking, so let's crawl under the Jeep. We have a lot to do tonight. So we got the pan off, and side by side, I mean, they're pretty much identical, except for this new one is steel, where the old one is plastic. So, I mean, the JT Gladiator transmission pan, while it is steel, it is still pretty thin, so it's not like this can take a huge rock bash to it, but it's definitely gonna be an upgrade. The next step is crawling underneath and taking a look at the valve body. So there's a ton of bolts on them. We don't have to take all of them off. Go grab a Torx bit, zap them off, and pull this whole valve body off. Well, that was a bad idea. I had to call Cassie in for assistance. Thanks for the help, by the way.
Oh, you made another mess in here.
Yeah, so where were you at?
Working on the couch.
Yeah,
Lazy.
well, I was gonna call her in here later because I thought I had this handled, but as soon as I loosened all the bolts to the valve body, oh, that's almost full.
You're about to be banned from doing anything
Oh
like
my gosh,
transmission
this has so much
related.
fluid in it. So be careful, because when you think it's done leaking fluid, once you get all the bolts for the valve body out, it's like, it just gush. I sit here, I'm like, oh crap, Cassie, grab some rags. So this is full. I think all the bolts are off. It's pretty easy to identify, and they're just the big ones. So are you ready to get dirty?
Not really, but let's do it.
All right, here, just take the GoPro.
Don't have a choice.
The GoPro's covered
Oh,
in...
it's so disgusting.
Oh.
How have we not invested in a better oil pan at this point?
You can feel free to buy me one
Bigger,
for
larger.
Christmas. Yeah, I guess one that's
can't
a
wait
little,
that long.
little bit bigger would help. All right, I gotta figure out what's holding this up.
Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, when it comes to like automatic transmissions and computers and valve bodies, I don't know. I am no professional.
Doesn't know something, guys.
I am not a professional by any means. So tech tips on this, there's gonna be very, very slim. We're putting this thing on there. So luckily we have one already from Jeep Speed Shop, so I can kind of show you what we need to do. And I'm not really show you what to do, so I guess I can figure out what to do.
Figure it out and then show you guys what
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. So pretty much this thing needs to go on that thing. We can look at the back here, and there's some bolts that we're gonna have to take out on the valve body. So we're gonna compare them. Cassie is the camera lady today.
Right.
So I can go ahead and see we have to move over to a smaller Torx bit, and I'm kind of holding it up. We're gonna have to remove this guy. Okay. We are gonna have to remove this guy.
All right, fast forward.
Remove this very carefully, because I'm sure this is
I
expensive.
feel like there has to be like a clip type of.
No,
Nope, just pulls right out.
there is a clip.
Ha! There's always a clip, guys.
There is a clip. Does this go with it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now, oh, how's this go?
Same way we took it off.
Yeah.
Took the other one off, right?
Pretty much all of these are going to go into our solenoids. It looks good.
If not, someone will comment below, I'm sure.
We're going to reinstall these bolts that we took out to the proper torque spec.
Which is
The proper torque spec.
This just looks so cool.
It definitely is, like all the how it all works. It's insane. All right, guys. So I'm going to get this put back together, and we are going to throw it back in the Jeep and pretty much reassemble everything so we continue moving on. Unfortunately, last night, put everything back together, took the Jeep for a test drive, and we were having issues. Major transmission issues. Pretty much when the Jeep was in drive and my foot on the brake, the torque converter, or like the trans, was like going in neutral. You'd have to give it gas for it to go and it would jerk. I'm like, oh crap, what in the world did we do? So I hooked up my laptop to the 8-speed like tuning software, and I was seeing that the transmission, I'll include the video right now. Start it up, throw it into drive. First gear, we're good. Went to second gear. Third gear. So my foot's on the brake right now and it's shifting up through the gears. So we're in 5th gear right now at idle with my foot on the brake. It's up to 6th gear and then it just dropped into neutral. So reached out to Jeep Speed Shop. He called one of his great transmission guys. He's like, man, it sounds like there's a pressure issue somewhere. So he recommended tearing it back down and make sure we didn't mess up an O-ring. So on the valve body, now that we're professionals, the key things to look out for are these two Teebs. There's an O-ring on this one and this guy. So this guy sits, you can remove it. It sits in here and it also sits up in the transmission. There's 2 O-rings there. So we dropped this morning. I'm like, man, both those O-rings are good. The O-ring on the pan is good. What else could it be? But then we started looking online for this. The B-release rubber feed tube. It's a little rubber thing. And apparently it falls out. You know where it was? In here. And I put it back in for you guys so you could share how happy I was. Oh. I was like, oh, maybe it's in here. And you know what?
There it was.
There it is. Now this is my fault because I planned on reusing this fluid and pump it back into the quartz over there so I could reuse it to pump into the transmission. But of course, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I do have enough fluid to put all new fluid back in. So I didn't touch this. And that little
and if you
feed
had,
tube, yeah, if I was gonna pump,
you would have found this.
If I would have pumped all of this back into there, I would have found that last night and I would have been good to go. So, all right. Now I have all that fluid under there, and guess what? We got a bigger pan. We got a bigger pan, so there's less mess in the garage.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Yes. Early birthday present. This little piece right here hopefully will solve all of our issues. All right, you ready to put all this back together?
Ready, Freddy.
Round 2. Transmissions. They don't work unless you have this little rubber thing. Emma, did we fix the transmission? She's like, I want to watch a video. What is this? All right, guys.
I want to watch YouTube. Get out of
here.
Hey,
what are we doing today? Working on the transmission?
Working on the Hemi.
Yeah? What engine does this have?
Hemi.
Is it big or little?
Big.
What does it sound like?
Mama.
So we got the transmission put back together.
for the second time.
Second time. And everything works. Yep. So that's good news. But
one step forward, 2
yeah,
steps back,
so
right?
we fixed everything on that. Cassie, you want to show them? We got bad news now.
Another one. You guys can probably already guess it.
What do you think's wrong with the Gladiator?
Dun dun dun.
So let's listen to it. Sounds like it has a cam.
Yes, it does.
Did we put a cam in it?
We did not, unfortunately.
Nope.
Not yet.
Oh, flash and check engine light. What do you think it is?
Maybe a cylinder misfire.
Maybe so. All right, go ahead and kill it.
Oh, play with the camera. Okay. So got another misfire on the Gladiator.
Yep,
so
that's
probably
one of the rip coil packs. So haven't had time to tear into it. This just happened today. And it's probably the coil pack, so you know that's 2 of them going out in a pretty short period, which means we're gonna rip them out and go back to stock. You know, they were pretty nice, but
they work nice.
They work nice, but they're not worth it if they just keep failing.
Which leads us to issue number 2, and this one's a little more painful.
This one really sucks.
On a golf cart hopped the median today and ran into the Charger, which kind of sucks. You can't open the driver door. They dented the side panel, and
look at
there's some scratches on the wheels.
They scratched the wheel.
That kind of hurts a little bit. That was just a bummer. I don't really.
A golf cart.
A golf cart got us.
Golf cart.
What?
So.
I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there.
So, like, you would think that's not that bad, and you can drive the car, and it does drive. However, you can't open the front door.
Nope.
because if you open it, the door smashes this panel in. But
you can see like the seal thing right here.
You really can't tell how. Yeah, I mean you can tell it's a bad dent. It's a bad dent. It's spring break here down in South Padre Island, and yeah, young kid cruising down the road on a golf cart, hopped the median.
Doing a U-turn. He
doing a
went full
U-turn.
circle, actually.
He sent it. He sent it. So, bad news is that good news for me. The JK is the only drivable vehicle right now. If Cassie would finish up her LS swap,
who would have thunk it?
yeah, this thing isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
We're starting on this soon, like this week. We're going back on
That's
this.
not going anywhere soon. The misfire's pretty bad. So I guess I'll pull that in the garage tonight, throw the Mopar coils back on it. That thing we're gonna have to take to a body shop. We'll let the pros handle that. Oh man, we have 2 dented vehicles. Actually, I think they're all dented.
Actually, they all are.
Speaking of body shops,
we're skipping this one.
we're gonna skip this one, do that later.
I'm undecided.
Old Gladiator has a dent. The old mysterious dent, we're gonna fix that later. This thing, and old reliable. Old reliable. Old reliable. So
I never thought I'd be calling you that.
the plan was to, you know, get the intake temps nice and low. The bumper still hasn't. I haven't put the bumper on. The reason for that is because I'm still waiting on the B&M power steering cooler, and I don't want to put the bumper on. Just take it all back off to install the cooler. I think that's going to be here like next week or something.
Okay.
So that's the holdup for that. Now we were going to go have some fun in this video.
Yeah, we were.
Take it off the little off-road spot, go rip around, have some fun, but with our luck, we'd go out there and something would break on the JK.
You'd go out there and break something.
I'd break something.
No
I'd break something on the JK.
So
then we'd have.
to work.
Yeah, I'd be biking to work. So that's it for this video, guys. I'm sorry, but we have a lot of projects to start tackling.
So more videos to come with all this, all this fun stuff to do.
A lot of fun stuff to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Please give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next video, where hopefully we do some fun stuff.
Oh, you gotta talk about how much the Hemi swap costs.
I don't want to talk
Full
about
circle,
that. Nope.
It's coming up next.
Nope.
Tons of people want to know.
Everybody wants to know how much did the Hemi swap cost. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna take it out, have some fun. We do have a bunch of Jeep Gladiator upgrades in the work.
Ooh.
So stay tuned, guys. Until next time, see you later.
Can you clean my greenhouse thingy?
Heck no.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Let's see.
Someone hasn't done their intake yet.
I have not done the intake. What's the plan for this?
That was the plan to do it in this video, and then all that happened.
Okay, so you're probably wondering why I have this assortment of stuff. I do not plan on running 2 filters. Where'd the other filter go? Uh-oh.
It was smaller. I bet the kids thought
Oh,
it was
well.
a toy.
Well, we're just gonna try to make something work later. All right, guys. See you later.